If you own a gym, you know that raising prices is one of the most stressful things you can do during the year. Most gym owners I talk to prefer to absorb the costs of rising electric, gas, council tax, etc., rather than passing that price on to the customer to compensate. While this keeps your customers happy because you're not putting their prices up, it reduces the amount of money you've got in the bank for buying new equipment, improving the gym facilities, giving yourself a pay rise, and paying your staff more. In the long term, this means that the gym's not going to be as good, and actually members will leave because they're not happy because you haven't spent the money on new kit, improving the facilities, and generally making the gym a better place. So you're in a bit of a paradox here. So what do you do? Over the last 5 years at my gym, I've raised prices consistently using a formula which not only reduces members leaving to nearly zero, but actually increases membership sales and gives my gym a cash boost just before the prices go up. And in this video, I'm going to share that formula with you. So you can put your prices up with confidence, none of your members will leave as a result, and you can buy more kit and improve the gym. So everybody's happy. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you a free tool which you can use yourself to calculate how many members would actually need to leave if you put your prices up by £2, £3 or £4 to make it counterproductive, i.e. you would lose money by putting the prices up. And let me tell you, every time I do this with a gym owner, the amount of members that would actually have to leave because of a £2, £3 or £4 price rise is completely unrealistic. It just would not happen. Just before we get into it, I've been a gym owner for about 15 years, and I know it's a real struggle sometimes to navigate the minefield of what is owning your own gym. And so the reason I do this video is to help people learn from the mistakes that I've made and the systems that I've put in place to make life a little bit easier. I would like to reach more people, and the only way I can do that is by having more subscribers and people liking the video. So if this video is helpful for you, it would be helpful for me if you could subscribe and maybe drop a like so that YouTube knows this is a helpful video. Thanks very much. So the big problems that gym owners facing with price rises is that you have to put prices up in order to buy more kit. Gym kit is expensive. I think the last bit of gym kit I bought was an arm machine from Panatta, and that was about £5,000. And that was with a discount. And things when you tell the members, oh, guess how much that was? And they go, oh, what, £1,000? You go, yeah, try multiplying that by 5. People just have no idea how much gym kit costs because they look at gym kit on like Amazon and they see like a home treadmill for like £300 or something. They think, oh, it's not very expensive kit. So a lot of the time they don't understand how much you're actually spending on kit. So make sure you tell them. That's the first tip. The second thing is bills are always going up. So your gas, your electric, your wage bill is going up. And a lot of members don't understand the cost of running a gym. I mean, seriously, I think that a lot of people think that I just sit at home all day doing nothing and counting my money from memberships. And so, yes, you want to explain that to people, but you don't want to be saying this is the only reason we're raising it. So you've got all these extra costs involved with just running the gym and improving the gym for members, because as independent gym owners, we want to always be improving our gym. Okay, it's about the money for us, but it's also about providing the best environment for people to train in and actually being proud of our gym. The third thing is that you're worried that if you put prices up, members will leave. You're in this quandary of, well, I need to put prices up, I need to improve the gym, I've got all these extra bills to pay, but if I put the prices up, some of the members are going to leave. Now, the thing is that some members will always leave if you put prices up. It's just one of those things. You can't stop everybody leaving. But my thoughts on that is, if people are on the fence of about like a £2 extra increase in their gym membership and they're going to leave because of that, they were probably on the fence about leaving anyway, and they're probably not your ideal customers because they're not spending money on the secondary sales such as supplements, pre-workouts and all that other stuff. So some people will leave, you can't avoid that, but I'm going to show you at the end a little formula to help you determine how many members would have to leave to make the price rise negative. And honestly, it's always more than you think that would have to leave to make it a negative thing. Putting prices up almost never is a negative thing for a gym long term. So that's the 3 main problems you're facing. But what do we actually want as a result of this? Obviously, we want members to stay and not churn. I mean, reducing churn should be like a daily thing for gym owners anyway, making our gym better so people don't leave. The second thing I really think is important is to make loyal members who've been with you for a long time feel valued and not punished. Because sometimes the complaints you're going to get from people are, oh, I've been here 10 years, why is my membership going up? And although logically that doesn't really make sense, because in 10 years, if the price hadn't gone up, the gym would probably be out of business. You've got to handle that with a degree of diplomacy sometimes. So we need to make sure that the loyal members are feeling valued and that their contribution over the time has been appreciated and they're not getting punished for staying with you for long. The third thing, which I think is probably an easier one, is that you want members to appreciate and value the investment that you're making into the gym. I mean, it's very rare that a gym member is going to say, actually, I don't want you to invest money in the gym and make it better. But also on the other side of that, I've had times where I've spent a lot of money buying new kit for the gym, and then some guy pops in and say, yeah, I never use that. I don't want that thing. So we want in some way to make sure that all the members feel as though their voice has been heard and you've bought stuff that they actually want. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute as well. And the fourth thing, which is really important for me, and I suppose it's important for every other gym owner, is that you want the gym to improve. It's a great place for people to come to. When you walk in, you're proud of what you've built. And as a result, the members get a better experience. And for me, the member experience at Ministry is the main thing that I'm trying to get there. I want people to go, I love coming to this place. And so they keep coming, they tell all their mates, they bring their mates in, and a lot of my advertising is done for me. So that's the perfect scenario, but there are a few mistakes that I see gym owners making a lot, and I've made these mistakes myself in the past, and so I know the impact of them. And I'm just going to run through the most common ones, and you can see if you've done this yourself, and I'm going to give you some ideas as to how to not do that in the future. The first is having too many pricing options. I mean, this is a separate topic in itself about how to price and pricing, but the main mistake I've made in the past is having like 5 or 6 different membership options. It's really confusing for people when they look at your pricing, and especially if you're now telling people that those prices are going up, then they've got to do a little bit of mental arithmetic and think, well, actually, what is the best membership for me? And so generally, I tend to keep memberships around about 3 ones that people can buy because it's an easy choice. Normally, if you have an expensive one, a really cheap one, and then a middle ground, then most people generally go to the middle ground. To do with something called extreme aversions, where people look at the really expensive one and think, oh, that's not for me. The really cheap one, oh no, I'm not a cheapskate, and then they go for the middle one. An easy example for this is having a yearly, a day pass, and then your monthly rate. Those are 3 options. Most people will go for the monthly rate. The second mistake most gym owners make is that they lead with their problems, their bills. Oh, our bills have gone up, our costs have gone up, and so we have to put the membership up. And the problem with this is that it sounds like a you problem. It's not my problem. They're not really going to care. They might empathize with you, but they're really apathetic. They don't really care that your costs have gone up. What they care about is their price has gone up. So I'm going to show you a way to get around that as well. The third mistake is not rewarding long-term members. People who've been with you 10 years will see the prices keep going up. Okay, some will probably go, actually, I don't care because I appreciate the prices go up and that's just natural. But there's always going to be some people who are really stuck in the roots saying, why should I be paying more? I've been here 10 years. You need to reward my loyalty. So I've got a plan for that as well, which I'll discuss in a sec. The fourth mistake is competing on price and not the product or the value of your product, as in the gym membership. Commercial gyms do this all the time. All they compete on is price. And you'll see adverts saying, oh, get your first month free, or your first month for £10, or, no joining fee when you sign up, stuff like that. All their adverts are competing on price. And so when you look at those adverts, all you're seeing is, okay, which gym is the cheapest? I'll join that. If price was the motivating factor of you joining a gym. Interestingly, when there was a major survey of gym owners around about 4 or 5 years ago, just before lockdown, the main thing that people said was the determining factor if they joined the gym was, first of all, location, which is obviously really important. And the second one was actually community. Price was actually not the determining factor for the majority of people in joining a gym. However, if you are always competing on price, as in get a discount, get money off, we're the lowest in town, that sort of thing, you're not pushing forward the value of what your gym is. And as a gym owner, you have an immense value in the fact that you offer a personal service. Commercial gyms, you walk in, no one knows your name. You don't even probably speak to anybody. You sign in a little booth and go around a turnstile and go in. It's very impersonal. And as independent gym owners, you can offer that really personal service, this we want to get to know you service. And so competing on price should not be the thing you're doing. You're going to be competing against the big commercials, and they've got so much more money to play that game with you and put you out of business. And the fifth mistake is anchoring to a monthly value and not a yearly. There's something called the reference price effect. What this says is that the first number you hear is always the reference for the other numbers you're going to hear. For example, when they say, oh, how much is your gym membership? And you say, oh, it's £30 a month, or you can pay for a year and pay £300. Okay, there's a £60 discount there. But the price, the reference, what they think is the normal price, is that £30. So immediately you're thinking this gym is £30 a month. Now, if you swap that around, and when people ask you how much your gym membership is, and you go, actually, it's £300 for the year, or you can pay 12 installments of £30. Immediately, the reference price effect is the normal price is £300, or I can opt to pay £30 per month. Now, although £30 per month is more expensive, it's £60 more expensive over the year, it sounds cheaper in that respect than when you put it right at the beginning. If you frame your prices as the bigger number first, followed by the smaller number, you'll have so much more ease of selling that monthly membership than framing it at the beginning. So just something to remember there. Okay, so how do we pitch our price rise to our customers so that they welcome the price rise? You actually sign up more members. The gym benefits as a result because you can have more money coming in and improving the gym by buying more kit. It's not going to annoy people and it's not going to have people leaving all the time. And you can give yourself a price rise as well. I think there's 3 key elements here. First of all, you've got to have a gym benefit. It's got to be beneficial to the gym to do the price rise. So there's no point putting your prices up by £1 because you're going to go through all that routine of people complaining about the prices, even though it's £1. And then if that £1 doesn't cover your costs and doesn't allow you to improve the gym, you've then raised the prices without actually benefiting the gym. So it's got to benefit the gym. The price rise has got to be of a level that benefits the gym. The second thing is it has to be a member benefit. I mean, that's obviously logical as well, is that if we're going to put prices up, it's got to be beneficial to the members, as in they need to have more kits, better facilities, or in some way the gym has improved and it's better. So the gym benefits, the member benefits, so everyone's happy. What's missing here though? The key thing which is missing, which most gyms don't do, is member involvement. Member involvement is really important because if you're not involving your gym members in the decisions, then how are you going to know what they actually want? And if you don't survey your gym members and if you don't ask them what they want and then you just give them a load of kit and upgrade the gym to be a load of like fancy kit that no one even asked for, you've just spent a whole ton of money on stuff that no one is going to use. And I've been at commercial gyms where they've made a big song and dance about a multi-million-pound investment and new kit upgrades and all this sort of stuff, and it all arrives and it's some stuff you're like, who's going to use that? That's the most ridiculously stupid kit I've ever seen in my life. And what happens is, 2 years later, the gym has to sell it because no one's using it and they've lost money. So don't be that guy. Don't be that gym owner that just thinks, I know best for my members and I'm just going to buy a load of kit. Make sure you're involving your members in that purchase. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. So we need to get all 3 of these right. But what happens if we don't get them all right? Well, first of all, if you've got a gym benefit and a member benefit, but no member involvement, what you've got is a feeling of it feels imposed. And you've got the situation I just outlined. So what about we have the gym benefit and member involvement? So you asked the members what they wanted. They gave you all the information back. They said, yeah, I'd really love to get this stuff. And so you go, great. So we put the prices up and then you bought all the kit and it's not what the members asked for. It's nothing for what they asked for. How does that look to them? Well, that's a situation where you have trust eroding. So trust erodes. It's a breach of trust because you involved them, but you didn't give them anything back. It feels like manipulation because the members feel like the feedback process was just for show. And that's worse than not asking them at all. And the third thing is you get participation fatigue. So because members don't feel as though their surveys are being answered or listened to, they don't participate them in the future. So you get even less member feedback in the future. So if you're going to ask your members what they want, make sure you give them some of what they want. Some things you can't do, but reasonable stuff, you should make every effort to do that if it's asked for enough. So what about if you have member involvement? You asked the members what they wanted, and then you gave them what they wanted, but actually what they wanted was too costly for the price rise. So now that you bought kit you can't afford, well, then your gym implodes. You've created an unsustainable business model where you're satisfying members at the expense of your survival, hoping more people will come in. You create a sense of entitlement, not loyalty, because people think that they can just ask for whatever they want and it's going to be given to them, and they don't understand the trade-offs. And you create a real spoiled brat in terms of your members, and that's not a nice thing to deal with. And the third thing is you've delayed the growth of your gym because you've invested in stuff that maybe you can't afford or maybe you didn't need really to take the business forward. But let's say you get all these things right. You've asked the members what they want. It's within your costs to do that and you're making more profit and the members are happy. Well, what you've got there is your stronger together. The gym and the members grow together. The price rise is accepted and understood. Members feel as though they have ownership and also a benefit of what goes on in the gym. They can see the benefit of what's happening, and the gym gets long-term revenue and loyalty. So this is the perfect situation, and I'm going to show you how to create that now. So what's the process of getting all these three things aligned? Well, in the last couple of years, I've refined this process a little bit, and I think there's 4 key stages you need to go through. The first thing we do is we want to get that member involvement. So we survey our members. Now, when I say survey, I don't mean give them a 30-question questionnaire, because as soon as people see more than like 7 to 10 questions, they just switch off, or their answers become very short. So we want to get the maximum amount of information about what the members want, potentially they think that we're not doing correctly, what they love about the gym, and also a little bit about them, how they use the gym, the equipment they use, and what their personal goals are, because that's really important for, say, moving the gym forward and targeting what actually people want when they come to your gym. So what I do is every sort of 4 months or so, I run a quick survey to the gym members, and there's only 7 questions on this survey. That's all I need to get the information that I need to improve the gym. And I'll put these questions in a Google Doc so you can get it at the end by going into the description. The most important thing is we make the questionnaire about them first. If you start asking about how the gym's doing or things they want at the gym, it's not really about them. What they're seeing is it's about you, how you can improve your business. So the first thing we want to do is ask what they do, about them. What's their goals? What are they working towards? Are they looking to lose weight? Are they looking to gain more muscle? And the second thing is we want to know what areas of the gym they use. Now, at Ministry, I have a couple of different areas. I have a spin studio, a normal like circuit studio, a powerlifting room, a mezzanine with cardio, and I have all the weights and lifting stuff on the bottom floor. So there's 5 or 6 distinct areas there, and I want to know what people are using so that if I know what people are using, I can put more money into that area. The third thing we ask is about their gym experience. What do they like the most about your gym? And we leave this as an open question because we want them to be honest and open and give their own words in this. The fourth thing we ask is, what's our superpower? What do we do really, really well? What do you like about what we do? And then we go the other way for question 5, which is, what's our kryptonite? What do we not do so well? And then number 6 is, what powers can we add? What's the things that we're not doing currently, which you would like to see us do? Now, this could be classes, this could be facilities, this could be new kit. You leave it open-ended so that they can suggest things they really, really want. And then question 7 is, anything else? Anything that we haven't covered and you'd like to say? Other feedback you'd like to give us? We appreciate both negative and positive feedback. It helps us to improve the gym. Now, what I found by running those 7 questions rather than having like a 20-question survey is that we really get nice, detailed responses. We get honest responses, and people are more likely to leave a longer sentence than just going yes, no, great, I love it, stuff like that. And that helps us then get a clear understanding of what people really think about the gym. The word of warning here is allow people to fill this in anonymously if they want to, because I don't want people thinking that we're going to come back to them and like, oh, why did you say that about the gym? So we allow people to fill out anonymously if they want to, but they can leave their email address if they'd like us to get in contact. And you've got to really be careful not to take it personally. The stuff that people are feeding back to you, they're feeding back to you because they want you to improve it. They're loyal customers, and they said, if you just did these things, it would be so much better for me. It's not personal against you. It's the gym would be better if you did these things. So make sure you take it like, great, that's feedback. I'll improve the gym because of that. I mean, some things you just can't improve. I had a member leave once because the benches were an inch too high. I'm not going to buy a load of new benches just for that one person. So you can't satisfy everybody. But if there's some things you can improve with a really quick fix, such as we had someone say in our questionnaire, oh, half the lockers are broke, which we didn't even know because no one had told us. So we went and fixed all the lockers, and it cost us about £100 to do that. But the feedback we got from people for doing that was, great, thanks for doing that. But it was only 1 or 2 people who mentioned it. But we had more feedback. We had about 20 people feedback to say, great, thanks for doing that. So make sure you take that feedback. There's probably things that are going to come back which you can improve really quickly and get really positive feedback from your members because you've done that. Step 2 is you need to analyze the responses. Now, about 5 years ago, when I used to do this took me absolutely ages to do because I had about 100 things to go through, loads of different like columns and everything else. It was an absolute headache. But with the advent of ChatGPT, you can do this really easily. All you have to do is download all those answers to a CSV file, load it into ChatGPT, give it a bit of information about, hey, I own a gym, this is what we do, here's some member feedback. Can you give me some highlights, can give me summaries. What do people like the most? What do people complain about the most? What's the good things they said about us? And it can give you a nice document with some summarized responses. If you give it a specific prompt to say, please give me some quotes that I can use in my social media about what the people who come into the gym like the most about the gym, you've just got a whole load of content that you can put in a quote with an image behind for the gym or a reel behind for the gym, use it as adverts, and this is what our members say about us. You've got some really quick advertising and social media proof you can put out very, very quickly just in that survey. Okay, so once you've done that with ChatGPT, you want to put the feedback into 3 buckets. The first is quick wins. What's the stuff that can be actioned immediately, such as fixing the lockers? And then do those things. So in the week after the survey, all the things that could be fixed within a week and don't cost you a lot of money, just do that and show that you've done that. And this will immediately show people that you're taking their feedback on board and then responding as a result of it. And then you've got the 2 other buckets. You've got repeated requests that are possible. We've had people ask for a hip thrust machine, an arm machine, more benches in the changing rooms. All these things are within a budget and they're possible to do. So we made sure that we put that on our list to do. But you're also going to get stuff which is just not possible. So if someone's asked for, say, a swimming pool, there's no way I'm going to get a swimming pool into my gym. So that's something I can't do. It's an impossible request. And you shouldn't try and satisfy every single request. Just because someone's asked for it doesn't mean they're going to use it. We've had people ask for loads of different types of classes in the past, and then we put them on and no one's turned up. Even the people who asked for them didn't turn up. So don't think you have to do everything. We don't want a spoiled child member developing here. And the thing is, you'll have your own ideas about what you want to put into the gym as well. And some of these things people might not have suggested or might not have asked for, but you want to do. So things like we're extending our mezzanine floor this year. And that's something that not many people have really asked for, but it's something that we had in our business plan to do anyway. Step 3 is once you've got all that data, you need to communicate that back to the members and add all the other stuff that you want to do yourself, which is part of your strategic business plan or stuff you've got to improve the gym anyway, which people might not have asked for. And I've got an 8-frame structure for doing that, which you can use on a carousel and you can use in an email series to your members. First slide is you want to say, here's our plans for your gym in whatever year you're in, to show that you're thinking of the long term and planning for growth. Now, the second thing you need to do, and this is where most gyms get it wrong, because when they talk about price rises, they lead with, oh, the prices are going up, and then they go into, because our costs have gone up. So what we want to do is say, here's the plans for your gym in the future. And the second page is, look, here's all the stuff we've done in the last year or the last time you did a price rise. So if your price rise was 2 years, make sure you bring all the things up that you've done in the last 2 years to improve the gym since you put prices up before. That's really important because a lot of members don't know all the stuff you've done. They just come into the gym and, oh, it's another bit of kit, but they don't register it. You need to remind the members how you've spent their money, how you've invested their money previously. That's really important before you come to the price rise. So once you've listed all the improvements, and that might take maybe 2 or 3 carousel pages, hopefully, if you've done a lot in the gym, the next thing you talk about is the results of the member survey. So typically for this, we put a few of the quotes from what members have asked for onto the slide to show that people have actually filled in the survey and that we've listened and that we've seen those requests. The fourth thing you do is say, here's the things that we've already done. So the quick wins, such as the lockers being broken, more benches in the change rooms, say, here's what we've already done to improve the gym from your feedback. Thank you very much. This shows the members that you've listened to them and that they've helped you improve the gym. And people always like a pat on the back to say, cheers for that advice, it really helped. And then you say, here's what we're going to do next. So that's when you bring in the second bucket, which is the things that you can improve, that you have got the budget for, and that you know are going to improve the gym for everyone. So a strategic move to make the gym better. And you need to be very specific about the upgrades or changes you've got. Don't just list them all in one paragraph, bullet them out and make it clear why you're doing this. We are going to buy a new arm machine so people have bigger arms, which is awesome. We are extending the mezzanine floor so there's more space for members to train, and we're going to put a stretching area there. Stuff like that. Remember to list the benefits as well as the features. And then you need to talk about the third bucket, what you can't do and why. So unfortunately, some people have asked for a swimming pool. We just haven't got the capacity to put a swimming pool in. There's no way we can get a swimming pool. Thanks for the request, but that's not going to happen. Also, more realistic stuff. A lot of times people ask for extended opening hours or earlier opening hours or 24/7 access. That's something that we just can't do at Ministry because of where we are, the location, and the logistics of putting that in. It'd be too expensive. So we say we can't do this because of these things. What that does is frame it that, look, we understand that these things have been asked for, but they're just not logistically within our power to do, or it's going to cost too much money to do. The memberships would have to go up, say, £10 in order to do that. And most people will appreciate that, yeah, you've listened, but you just can't do this thing because that's just not possible. And it helps you build trust with your members that you have limits to what you can give them, but you do want to give them something, you do want to improve the gym for them. And then you come to the price rise. So you've outlined what you've done in the past, what you've done as a result of the survey, what you're going to do in the future, what you can't do, and now it's here's how the prices have got to go up to fund this. Now, what I suggest you do here to build a bit more loyalty is to say this is going to happen for new members from, say, next week, but existing members, it won't come in until, say, 2 or 3 months' time. So they can start seeing the benefits of the investment that's going to be coming from the new members who are paying more before their membership goes up. And that's really, really important. So you've got the buy-in from, look, we've done all this stuff already, now we have to put the memberships up. That's when you can also talk about how your yearly option is cheaper, and they may want to switch to that before the price rise goes up. We always see a number of people switching over to the yearly option because of this, and they stay with us for years and years. They become really loyal members. And the final thing to do before you sign off is to invite people to have a conversation with you. So if it's on Instagram, I always say, hey, if you want to talk about this, just drop me a DM and we'll have a chat on the phone. If it's an email, I say, feel free to reply back to this email and we can either have a chat on email or we can have a chat on the phone. I always make it very clear that I'm open to conversations with any of my members, and if they've got concerns, I'm there to talk to them about their concerns. What I don't do is people who phone me up expecting to moan at me and get an exemption for their membership because they've had a moan. That's not happening. But to date, I've not had people try that on. And if this sounds like a lot of work to do, just try doing a price rise without doing any of that and then see how many of your members leave and complain. Believe me, it's a lot of headaches you don't need, so pick your heart. Now, the final thing to do here, and this is something that gym owners really, really neglect, but gym owners generally avoid using email as a source of membership recruitment or revenue generation, and definitely they ignore their ex-members. If you've been running for, say, 3 or 4 years, you will have a database of around 3,000 or 4,000 people who have been members at your gym or visited at any one time. And if you're not sending out emails to those people, you are really neglecting a potential source of revenue. Now, what I'd always do is when I do a price rise at the gym, I send out a variation of the email that I send out to members informing them of the price rise, and I send that to my ex-members, and it's very, very similar, talking about all the stuff we've done in the past and the stuff we're going to do in the future. What I don't do is talk about the price rise. I just talk about, would you like to come down and see how the gym has improved since you were last here? Now, you might get a lot of unsubscribes from that, fine. But in my experience, I normally pick up about 10 to 12 members just from that one email who are like, yeah, I remember ministry. Oh yeah, I fancy coming back there, because they've normally gone off to one of the commercial gyms because it was cheaper and then realized how rubbish it was compared to the gym they left. So it's really worth doing that. You will pick up more members by doing that. You'll get some people in for a free trial, see how the gym's changed, see how it's improved. And when they come back and experience the sort of the nostalgia and the experience of your gym, which is going to be infinitely better than a commercial gym, then you will pick up more members from it. So I highly recommend you do that. At the beginning of this video, I said I was going to give you a free tool to help you calculate your price rise, to show you how much extra revenue you would make from putting your prices up, and also how many members would have to leave in order to make the price rise a negative thing, as in the cost of the amount of members who leave outweigh the cost of putting the prices up. All you need to do to get this tool is to go to the description below and there'll be a link to it. It's a Google Sheets document, so you need to have a free Google Sheets account. Once you get it, all you have to do is make a copy and then you can add your own values and figures to it, and it will tell you in about 5 minutes all the data you need to know to make an informed decision. And this is the tool I use with all the gym owners I work with in order to work out where we're going to fix their price rise before we do all these other things I've discussed in the video. And I hope that this tool and all the stuff that I've discussed in this video helps you to plan out your next price rise without any members leaving. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.